Hi, are you taking the Life in the UK test? This video is part 12 on international institutions and respecting the law, in a series containing all of the facts you need to know to prepare for and pass the test first time. For my full course with the complete episodes in this series and my full audiobook with everything you need to know to pass the Life in the UK test first time, just click on the link in the description below. This course contains all of the knowledge and facts you need to know for the test. See you in the course. The UK and international institutions. The Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is an association of countries that support each other and work towards shared goals in democracy and development. Most member states were once part of the British Empire, although a few countries which were not have also joined. Membership is voluntary. The Commonwealth has no power over its members, although it can suspend membership. The Commonwealth is based on the core values of democracy, good government and the rule of law. The European Union. The European Union, or EU, originally called the European Economic Community, or EEC, was set up by 6 Western European countries: Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg and the Netherlands, who signed the Treaty of Rome on the 25th of March 1957. The UK originally decided not to join this group, but it became a member in 1973. In a referendum held on the 23rd of June 2016, the UK voted to leave the European Union. EU law is legally binding on all EU member states. European laws are called directives, regulations, or framework decisions. The Council of Europe. The Council of Europe is separate from the EU. It has 47 member countries, including the UK, and is responsible for the protection and promotion of human rights in those countries. It has no power to make laws, but draws up conventions and charters, the most well-known of which is the European Convention on Human Rights and Fundamental Freedoms, usually called the European Convention on Human Rights. The United Nations. The UK is part of the United Nations, or UN, an international organisation with more than 190 countries as members. The UN was set up after the Second World War and aims to prevent war and promote international peace and security. There are 15 members on the UN Security Council, which recommends action when there are international crises and threats to peace. The UK is one of 5 permanent members of the Security Council. The North Atlantic Treaty Organisation, or NATO. The UK is also a member of NATO. NATO is a group of European and North American countries that have agreed to help each other if they come under attack. It also aims to maintain peace between all of its members. Respecting the law. One of the most important responsibilities of all residents in the UK is to know and obey the law. This section will tell you about the legal system in the UK and some of the laws that may affect you. Britain is proud of being a welcoming country, but all residents, regardless of their background, are expected to comply with the law and to understand some things which may not be allowed in other legal systems which are not acceptable in the UK. Those who do not respect the law should not expect to be allowed to become permanent residents of the UK. The law is relevant to all areas of life in the UK. You should make sure that you are aware of the laws which affect your everyday life, including both your personal and business affairs. The law in the UK. Every person in the UK receives equal treatment under the law. This means that the law applies in the same way to everyone, no matter who they are or where they're from. Laws can be divided into criminal law and civil law. Criminal law relates to crimes which are usually investigated by the police or another authority such as a council, and which are punished by the courts. Civil law is used to settle disputes between individuals or groups. Examples of criminal laws are carrying a weapon. It is a criminal offence to carry a weapon of any kind, even if it is for self-defence. This includes a gun, a knife, or anything that's made or adapted to cause injury. Drugs. Selling or buying drugs such as heroin, cocaine, ecstasy, and cannabis is illegal in the UK. Racial crime. It is a criminal offence to cause harassment, alarm, or distress to someone because of their religious or ethnic origin. Selling tobacco. It is illegal to sell tobacco products, for example, cigarettes, cigars, or roll-up tobacco, to anyone under the age of 18. Smoking in public places. It is against the law to smoke tobacco products in nearly every enclosed public space in the UK. There are signs displayed to tell you where you cannot smoke. Buying alcohol. It is a criminal offence to sell alcohol to anyone who is under 18 or to buy alcohol for people who are under the age of 18. There is one exception. People aged 16 or over can drink alcohol with a meal in a hotel or restaurant. Drinking in public. Some places have alcohol-free zones where you cannot drink in public. The police can also confiscate alcohol or move young people on from public places. You can be fined or arrested. This list does not include all crimes. There are many that apply in most countries, such as murder, theft, and assault. Example of civil laws are housing law. This includes disputes between landlords and tenants over issues such as repairs and eviction. Consumer rights. An example of this is a dispute about faulty goods or services. Employment law. These cases include disputes over wages and cases of unfair dismissal or discrimination in the workplace. Debt. People might be taken to court if they owe money to someone. The police and their duties. The job of the police in the UK is to protect life and property, prevent disturbances, also known as keeping the peace, prevent and detect crime. The police are organised into a number of separate police forces headed by chief constables. They are independent of the government. In November 2012, the public elected the police and crime commissioners in England and Wales. These are directly elected individuals who are responsible for the delivery of an efficient and effective police force that reflects the needs of their local communities. They set local police priorities and the local policing budget. They also appoint the local chief constable. The police force is a public service that helps and protects everyone, no matter what their background or where they live. Police officers must themselves obey the law. They must not misuse their authority, make a false statement, be rude or abusive, or commit racial discrimination. If police officers corrupt or misuse their authority, they are severely punished. Police officers are supported by the police community support officers. Those officers, PCSOs, have different roles according to the area, but usually patrol the streets, work with the public, and support police officers at crime scenes and major events. All people in the UK are expected to help the police prevent and detect crimes whenever they can. If you are arrested and taken to a police station, a police officer will tell you the reason for your arrest, and you'll be able to seek legal advice. If something goes wrong, the police complaints system tries to put it right. Anyone can make a complaint about the police by going to a police station and writing to the chief constable of the police force involved. Complaints can also be made to an independent body, the Independent Police Complaints Commission in England and Wales, the Police Complaints Commissioner for Scotland, or the Police Ombudsman for Northern Ireland. Terrorism and extremism. The UK faces a range of terrorist threats. The most serious of these is from Al-Qaeda, its affiliates, and like-minded organisations. The UK also faces threats from other kinds of terrorism, such as Northern Ireland-related terrorism. All terrorist groups try to radicalise and recruit people to their cause. How, where and to what extent they try to do so will vary. Evidence shows that these groups attract very low levels of public support, but people who want to make their home in the UK should be aware of this threat. It is important that all citizens feel safe. This includes feeling safe from all kinds of extremism, vocal or active opposition to fundamental British values, including religious extremism and far-right extremism. If you think someone is trying to persuade you to join an extremist or terrorist cause, you should notify your local police force. So let's look at some sample questions on this section about the UK and international institutions. What is the Commonwealth? A. Member states which have an agreement establishing freedom of movement, shared taxation and a government. B. An association of countries which support each other and work together in shared goals of democracy and development. It is based on the values of democracy, good government and the rule of law. Or C. The Commonwealth is an association of countries which remain a part of the British Empire. They have to pay taxes to the UK government and in return are offered freedom of movement within the Commonwealth. The answer is B. So the Commonwealth is an association of countries which support each other and work together in shared goals of democracy and development. It is based on the values of democracy, good government and the rule of law. True or false? When the UK voted to leave the European Union in 2016, the people also voted for the UK to leave the Council of Europe and to reject the European Convention on Human Rights. The answer is false. Which of the following international organisations is the UK a member of? A. The United Nations. B. The United Nations Security Council. C. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization. D. The Group of 20. The answer is all of the above. What separates criminal law from civil law in the United Kingdom? A. Civil law is only used to convict someone when the police don't have enough evidence to fulfill the criminal standard of beyond reasonable doubt. Or B. Civil law is used to settle disputes between individuals or groups. The answer is B. Civil law is used to settle disputes between individuals or groups. Which of the following would be examples of civil law cases? A drugs-related offence where the defendant only had enough illegal Class C substance on their person for their own use. B. A dispute between a customer and a garage owner where the customer alleges gross misconduct by the garage owner. C. A tenant making a rent repayment order application against their landlord due to improper licensing and harassment. The answer is B and C are examples of civil law cases. Which of the following is a duty of the police? A. To prevent disturbances, also known as keeping the peace. B. To convict alleged criminals in a court of law. C. To prevent protests from happening on publicly owned property, such as the streets of London. The answer is A. It's a duty of the police to prevent disturbances, also known as keeping the peace. Which of the following are recognised as significant terrorist threats to the UK? A. Greenpeace. B. Al-Qaeda and its related organisations. C. Northern Ireland-related terrorism such as the IRA, the Irish Republican Army. The answer is B and C. Thanks for watching. The rest of the episodes are in my course. So for my full course with the complete episodes in this series and my full audiobook with everything you need to know to pass the Life in the UK test first time, just click on the link in the description below. This course contains all of the knowledge and facts that you need to know for the test. So see you in the course.